Everybody. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Michelle Hildebrand. My journey started about 7 or 8 years ago. I was an avid runner, about 3 miles a day, and I'd always had back problems all the way back to the age of 18, I guess, is when I first started having problems, having to go to therapy and in and out of the hospital with cortisone shots and whatnot. And then about 2 years ago, I really started having problems from the running. And 6 months ago, I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis. That was a devastating blow to me because running was my stress reliever. It was my freedom from everything, from, stress and just the world around me. So, that really hit me hard when I got diagnosed with the osteoarthritis. I also had IBS, diagnosed about 5 years ago, and it just got worse and worse. Of course, I didn't have any way to relieve my stress, so the stress got worse, and the IBS got worse. It was at the point where probably 2 or 3 years, I was on some really heavy medication that made me drowsy, didn't feel good, had no energy. Just was a bad situation all the way around, and it never really got any better with the medication. And then I had another health problem come up about 4 years ago. I thought it was allergies, and my voice was hoarse. Well, it got to the point where I couldn't speak. I could speak, but you couldn't hear me. So went to the doctor, and he's like, I don't think that's allergies. Got really scared. I was a smoker for 20-something years, and the first thing that popped in my head was, oh my gosh, do I have throat cancer? They sent me to a university hospital, and the diagnosis was tumors on my vocal cords. So for the last 4 years, I think I've had about 25 to 30 surgeries on my throat, on the vocal cords, and in between those surgeries I would lose my voice. Then the surgery would fix it, and for like 2 months I could speak again. So it was an up and down roller coaster that I went through because I'm a talker and people couldn't hear me. So that hurt me financially, emotionally, and mentally. But to make a really long story short, in the last 5 years my health was really declining and spiraling downward really fast. And I was only 40-something years old, way too young. I also have a 7-year-old son, a 28-year-old son, and a 23-year-old daughter. Way too young for my 7-year-old to have a mother that's going to be disabled. So I really had to start changing my lifestyle. And I tried eating healthy, and over the years, of course, like everybody, I had tried all kinds of diets, yo-yoed back and forth of gaining 20 pounds, losing 20 pounds. I think at my heaviest, I was probably about 145 at 5'2". Wasn't pregnant, just really eating bad. And I had a really struggle with eating healthy, and it took a toll on me. Now I think some of the problems I do have was because of my unhealthy habits, when I was younger. So probably about a year ago, I became very depressed with all these diagnoses, and I felt like I was just going nowhere. Couldn't seem to do anything to help myself. And I left my home state that I lived for 40 years, all my life, and moved to Southwest Louisiana. I've been here for 6 years, and I'm also a medical assistant, certified medical assistant, and found it hard finding a job. The small town that I live in, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of jobs, pretty scarce and close to none, to be honest with, because there's not really any doctor's offices, and there's not big stores and plazas and stuff like that where, you could get a job. So I struggled with that. I moved in with my fiance about 3 years ago, and I couldn't find a job as a medical assistant, so I did direct service work with disabled. Although the job was very rewarding, being a single mom and a very low income, it was a huge struggle. Well, the job that I had, like I said, was very rewarding, but the company that I worked for was not very appreciative. They weren't respectful. They didn't acknowledge all the hard work that I put into my work. So about, let's see, it was September of this past year, I quit that job. Very scary because, like I said, the jobs are very scarce in a small town where I live. But I was at the point where I was changing my mindset, and I wasn't going to allow negativity and stress affect me moving forward and doing some positive things, positive changes in my life. So that's when Beachbody and my coach came along. Financially, not the most opportune time, but mentally, physically, and emotionally, it was like, this is it. This is where I need to be. I could exercise without high impact. There was a way for me to relieve my stress. I would be doing something that would help myself physically and mentally and emotionally. So I jumped on board. Lo and behold, I didn't know really the huge benefit I was going to get from this whole Beachbody process. Like I said, with the IBS, I was on medications, and I'd already made up my mind I was not taking all these medications, and to be just not who I was, tired all the time, and feeling doped up, and just didn't really want that kind of life. So when I started the Shakeology, after about 2 weeks, I noticed that my stomach was feeling better. I quit having spasms. I didn't have any bouts of the IBS symptoms anymore. And now I've been with Beachbody for 3 months. I've done Country Heat for 2 months, and then I started Core D4 a little over a month ago. I'm starting my second round of Core D4s. Today was actually my first day for the second round. And I can't even explain how much better my stomach feels. That's just one part. I also quit smoking about 2 months and 2 weeks ago. So that's, of course, a big bonus. And my overall health is amazing. I've never had this much energy. Even when I was in my 20s, I never felt like I slept enough or rested enough, that I wasn't always tired. So I'm in a whole different area in my life that I've just never experienced, and it's amazing. And I just became an Emerald coach. Let's see, last Thursday, I got 3 new challengers to join me the month of December, and I'm wanting to really go to that next level and come out of my comfort zone and learn what I need to learn in order to, what's already in my heart, to be able to share that with others and finish my passion and my purpose, helping others just in a different way than what I did as a medical assistant or a direct service provider. It's a lot bigger picture. It's just a different way of doing it. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's about all of my story, all in a little tiny nutshell. If I could go on forever, but that's about it.